YouTube? It's your girl Unique, and you already know it's time to hang out with me. Today I'm going to be filming another story time for y'all because of course y'all like my story time. But before I get started, let me just address some things because I know a lot of y'all are coming from my friend tried to rob me story time or whatever. Let me just make this clear. Yes, I do have furniture in my room. For one, I stated that I was rearranging my room. For two, when I put fight included, the fights really be included. But with this story time, I'm only gonna put partial of it because I do get flagged and demonetized because of certain content that I post in these story times. So to avoid that, I am just going to be posting like arguments and stuff. So with that being said, this is a story about how my friend abandoned me at Six Flags. If you're a real OG subscriber, you know that I already did this story time when I was younger. I was at least that was like 2 years ago almost, but the story time was all over the place, and I'm gonna try my best to do the timeline and all the explaining correctly so you guys can understand. So without further ado, let me get into the video. Wait, pause, scratch that. See, all over the place already. Make sure y'all go shop my website at the Baddie Trap. It's gonna be on the screen right here. Follow me on all my social media so I can stay updated on what I got going on. Okay, y'all, so to get this story time started, I'm gonna just tell y'all I was a new student at this school. I was new because my mom would move a lot because she got like better jobs in different cities and stuff. And so as I became a new student, I gained friends. Because y'all know when you're in a class and y'all see one group of girls and then one of them starts talking to you, so all of them start talking to you. That's kind of how it was for me. So we would become friends. And I remember one time in our healthcare class, y'all know sometimes when you have a healthcare class, you go to the gym as like a fitness class. What was it? It was team sports or something like that. So we would have like the team sports class would go to the gym, and before we go to the gym we would have to do like an assignment where we would have to look up something like pancreatitis and write the definition, turn it into teacher, and then we walk to the gym. It was one hallway to the gym, so at this school. So if you go backwards you can't because the doors was locked, so there was no skipping basically. So we was in class, and y'all know the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes before the bell rings or whatever, so we was talking. It was me, Alana, and 3 other girls. I'm not gonna say the girls' names because they really not that relevant. Like, I'm not gonna name them because they're not that relevant in the story, but the part that I'm gonna mention has something to do with them. So we was talking and we was all like, let's go out somewhere, let's go to Six Flags or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool, I just gotta ask my mom, and she has to talk to your mom, and she has to have my location, she has to know where I am, what I'm doing, and stuff like that, because we were in Atlanta and it was crazy. So actually I'm gonna name one of the girls. So one of the girls, we're gonna name her Bree. Okay, so me, Alana, and Bree and the other girls were talking about going to Six Flags. And so Bree was like, you know, we can pick y'all up and then we can go and then we can take y'all back. So me and Alana was under the impression that Bree was going to pick all of us up and we were gonna go. So then Alana was like, no, you can ride home with me, Unique, and we could go from there, and then Bree can go and pick up the other girls since she lives closer to them and I live closer to you. I can pick you up, Bree can pick them up, and we can all meet up there. And then when it's time to go, Bree can all take us home. So I was like, okay, cool, we can all go, and that's that. Okay, so fast forward to later that day. I ended up going home with her. I took a picture in her mirror, and I will put the receipt, the picture right here. I took a picture in her house. I did see where she lived. I know y'all, when I tell these story times about me finding, y'all see that I saw where they live, but I don't know their address. So anyways, yeah, so I ended up going back to her house, and we were kicking it, chatting it up type stuff until her mom got off of work, and her mom was gonna take us to Six Flags. So we was waiting, and I had a bag with me. My bag had like edge control, lip gloss, headphones, my computer from school. Then I had my backpack. So I had a bag of stuff that I would, like a girl's bag, like, you know, those little small book bags, and then I had my actual book bag because I went straight from school to her house. Once her mom got there, like, I was doing my edges and stuff in the bathroom. Once her mom got there, we got in the car. I left my bag with Alana. So we ended up going to Six Flags, and once we got out, we were waiting in the line, and I had a jacket because it was getting cold because it was in October, so it was getting cold in Georgia. So I had a scarf wrapped around my head. I'm telling y'all all of this because it matters. I'm not about to be telling y'all this because it doesn't matter in the story. Y'all have to stay with me, okay? So boom, we walk in, we get checked, we're in, we're cool. So we're taking pictures in the bathroom, having a good time, riding the rides. It's fun, it's cool, it's great. I'm telling y'all, I had fun. I'm not gonna lie on this girl's name. I had fun and it was fun. So we texting Bree. We're texting Bree trying to figure out where they're at, and she ends up texting us back and said, I cannot come because our car is full. We cannot take y'all home. I told my mother that that was my ride home. Okay, I told my mom that that was my ride home. After talking to my mother, letting her know that was right home, my mom was like, I'll just talk to her when she pick y'all up, because that's the only way I could talk to her. Instead of, like, my mom likes to talk to people when I'm with them rather than before I get with them. So she's texting us like, oh, I can't come get y'all. And so I'm asking Alana, like, how we gonna get home? She was like, don't worry about that, you know, we'll worry about it when it's closer to go home. And we stayed there the whole day, y'all, till they closed. So we were riding the rides and it got cold. Like, I have videos of me at Six Flags, which I will insert them with the scary people and stuff. I will put them on the, like, you know, y'all know. So it gets so cold to the point where we're inside getting food and we don't want to go out because it's just too cold. So with that being said, Alana had a cousin that worked at Six Flags. So we were getting free food. We were getting, like, free everything, okay? After we come out of the place to get food, we end up riding more rides. Okay, y'all have to stay with me from here on out because it gets crazy. So we're riding rides, and y'all know the rides, if you live in Georgia, I don't know about any other state because I've never been to a Six Flags at any other state, but if you've been in a Georgia amusement park, which is Six Flags, certain rides, when you come out the ride, it is a store from that, like, theme of that ride. So let's say, like, it was a Superman ride and you come out and it's a store and it's nothing but Superman, like, items and Marvel type theme stuff. So we were coming out the store, and so I continued to walk. This is so crazy. I would never do this a day in my life. Like, I've never done it. She did everything. So we're coming out of the store, y'all. As we're coming out of the store, I kid y'all not, she was like, oh, I want this, so I'm about to get it. And I was like, okay, how much is it? She said,
how much? That don't matter.
So I'm like, okay, you just got it like that, you big baller. Because y'all know amusement parks be taxing. It could be $20 for a hot dog, $45 for some flip-flops. Like, they be taxing. Y'all know they be taxing. So she was like, it don't matter. So it's dark outside at this point. I am walking out to the freaking ledge to go sit down because she was still in there. So I'm walking out. So she comes out, y'all, with a cape. A cape. A Marvel cape. Nothing wrong with the cape because it was cute. But I'm like, so I ain't asked too many questions because I wasn't thinking too much of it. You bought the cape. She bought the cape is what I'm thinking. So we end up walking, going to another ride, and then another ride had a store in it. At this point, we're just riding rides with stores in it. And I put two and two together, and I'm like, okay, I get it now. So we were walking to another ride. It was a bridge that led to another ride. She was asking me, the ride was like a shooting game. If you live in Georgia, you know what I'm talking about. The little ride where you sit down, you put the goggles on, and you shoot. So we were on that ride, and it was another store. And when we were walking to the ride, she was like, do you steal? And I was like, no, I don't do that. And she was like, yeah, girl, because y'all know when somebody asks you a question and get your answer first before they tell you the truth? That's what she did. She's like, girl, do you steal? And I was like, no, I don't steal type stuff. And so she was like, yeah, because this girl I was with the last time, she was just straight up stealing. I was like, what is she doing? She found out that I didn't steal, so she was like covering herself up. But she ended up stealing actually after telling me that she didn't. So we are going, after we ride the little shooting game ride, we come out and she was like, I want some Skittles. And I was like, okay, go get some Skittles. And she was like, I'm gonna use my cape though. And I'm like, use your cape? Use your cape for what, bro? Do y'all know how much jail time that is? I mean, I've never stolen from like an amusement park, so I don't know how much jail time it is. But if you get caught, like, what do? Do they like ban you from going there? And do you go to jail? That's theft. That's a crime. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. And you're a freshman in high school. Anyway, so she comes in, she goes in the store, she comes out with the Skittles, and I'm like, they was Skittles like this, y'all. I kid y'all not. They was the blue and purple Skittles that was cut down the middle when the blue and it was a mix. They was like this share size, this big of a bag. I kid y'all not. She she stole that big bag of Skittles, and so I'm like, she tells me at this point that she's stealing it, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do it. Leave me out of that. I don't want no parts of that. So after she ends up doing what she had to do, it's really late, so we go back to the restaurant to get more food, and we're eating now. And as we're eating, we end up going out because it got so late to a point where it's closing now, and so the store had to close. So we were sitting outside on a bench, but the store that we were eating in closed. We went to go sit down on a bench outside of the store, like the eating area, and she goes down like the hill, and she sees one of the stores is still open. And so, pause. I don't know why I associate with all these people that just be stealing and trying to tarnish me. Like, girl, what? Like, come on now. I ain't the one. Really haven't been. Never gonna be. That's just that. So as she sees the store open, she goes to the store. She comes back to tell me, oh, that store open, I'm finna go in there. I was like, okay, have fun. So I'm sitting down, and she comes back with like 4 necklaces. I kid y'all not. One of them was a circle necklace. It was a pendant. It had like a letter on it. It was I don't know what letter it was. And then 2 of them was crystals. One of the crystals was blue and black on like a rope type of necklace. And then one of them was a baby pink. And then the other one was like a rock kind of necklace. So she comes back with the necklaces, and she told me that she stole them. And she's laughing, giggling, hee hee ha ha, cool, okay, cool. So as it's getting late, we completely forgot that we had to find a ride home. So I'm like, how we getting home again? She stopped her laughing, and it's crunch time now. It's a moment of seriousness. She stopped her laughing, and she goes, oh my God, I forgot. Her mom ends up going to work, and y'all know how your mama be like, don't text me while I'm at, don't call me while I'm at work unless it's an emergency. So her mom is not answering her calls or none of that. So we don't know how we're getting home at this point. Her mom's not answering. So everybody's exiting out the park, and the police, everybody ends up leaving, and the police comes to us and was like, y'all gotta go, we're cleaning the park up, we're escorting everybody out, it's time to go type stuff. So we're like, okay, we're leaving. So we're still trying to find a ride. I'm calling my mom. My mom's sleeping. She's not answering because my mom had to go to work in the morning. So as we're going out of the park, we're like, why don't we ask your cousin who works here to take us home after she gets off? So she calls her cousin answers. She was like, yeah, I can take y'all home after, you know, I clean up, do what I gotta do. The park closes at 12. Y'all know if you've ever had a job, y'all know y'all have to stay an extra hour to clean up. My mom ends up waking up to see where I am. What am I doing? She noticed I'm still out because 1, she has my location, 2, I did not lie to her. I said, I'm still here at the park. I have a picture of how late it was at this park. It was going on 2 o'clock in the morning. Park closes at 12. So the police ends up escorting us to an office. The office was like a stationary office at Six Flags if somebody does something or whatever. So it's warm in there. They're warming us up, asking us questions like, do you have a ride home? Where's your parents? Type stuff. And we're like, because her cousin ends up not answering again. Like, her cousin's not answering. As she's calling her to get an update, checking on her cousin is not answering. So we're so confused. We're like, who's gonna be our ride? How are we getting home? Okay, cool. Boom, this is where everything turns left, y'all. So one of the police officers escorts us to the parking lot where it's like a ledge where the Six Flags sign is. It's a ledge. So it was workers standing outside waiting on their ride, and it was 2 other people waiting on their ride. So it was a ledge, and me and Alana was sitting on the ledge with the police officer waiting, okay? The other police officer was at the station talking to the other police officers like, it's 2 young girls out here who don't have no ride home. So they kept their eye on us the whole time, okay? So it was a boy out there, a boy who worked there. I don't know his name, don't remember his name. This was like 3 years ago. So she was sitting on the ledge trying to contact her mom. Her mom finally answers. This is how our conversation went. She's like, Mom, Her mom was like, yes. She's like, we're still at Six Flags and we don't have no ride home. Her mom was like, we? And she was like, yeah, we're still here at Six Flags and we don't have no ride home. Da, 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 da. Her mom was like, I'll come get you, but I won't get Unique and take her home because it's late and I have to go back to work. What? What? Y'all know when you in a car with somebody and they drop you off home and they don't pull off till you get in the house. That's the type of people I associate myself with now. I was at this park, y'all, like 2 o'clock in the morning. So she was like, told the guy who was standing out there with us, ends up asking us, he was like, what's up with y'all? Do y'all have a ride? Da, da, da. She was like, yeah, I got a ride. Yeah, I have a ride. Okay, cool. You got it right. Okay, cool. I said, I don't know. And he was like, oh, I could get y'all a lift. I could get y'all a lift. Mind you, this is a random boy. Okay, cool, courtesy. Thank you for offering it to me, but I don't know you from where, and I care about my safety. I am a young child at Six Flags with my friend who was supposed to be responsible for me and my safety of getting home. I understand you was trying to be nice or whatever, but you can easily edit a ride, easily take me somewhere else, easily like, boom. I mean, that might not have been your intentions or whatever, but still. So she was like, Unique, just go in. Unique, just go in. I don't even move like that. I'm the type of person, if you with me, you don't got no ride, you can ride back with me. I will get you a ride back. Or if you don't got nowhere to sleep for tonight, your mama, you locked out, your mama not answering, you can come back to my house. You can sleep at my house. You can crash at my house. Whatever you need, I got you. I'm that type. She was not. And that's where I go wrong with finding these friends, like when I was living out in Atlanta or whatever, because there was always the wrong ones. So yeah, so her mom ends up looking at the time and was like, I'll just take her home. So we get in the car, y'all. We get in the car. Her mom was like, Unique, where you live? Because mind you, I rode home from school with her. She don't know where I live. So I ended up telling her where I live, and I put my address into Alana's phone. Her mom is following the GPS off of Alana's phone. She abandoned me because she tried to leave me on numerous occasions at this park. I would have never done that to a friend. I would have never considered doing that to a friend. So we're in the car, and this is also how she abandoned me. She was like, her mom was asking us questions. She was like, well, Unique had a ride home. It was supposed to be with Bree. Why are you sitting here lying, bro? Like, she's sitting here lying. Straight up capping. Straight up bluffing. Straight up boofing. Like, what? She's lied to her mom. Her mom's now yelling at me. Don't know this woman. I don't know this woman from a candy paint. I met her, like, through my friend, and now her mom is yelling at me. Her mom don't know me like that. And I'm like, why are you yelling, ma'am? So her mom's continuing to ask me questions, and Alana is continuing to lie to her mom to save her butt. And I'm like, no way. And I'm not trying to disrespect her mama, because I'm not the type to disrespect nobody's mom. So I am now furious, now heated, now livid. We go to park, and I lived in apartments at this time. We go to park at the apartment so that I can get out the car and go home. Why when I get out the car, mom was like, Unique, what's the numbers to your apartment? What's the numbers to your house? So I told her it was 2434. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, what do she need the numbers for? And she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write that down. So I was like, okay, she's gonna come to my house tomorrow and talk to my mom. That's what I was going through my head. So I'm texting this girl. I'm mad. I texted my cousin. I'm mad. I'm texting everybody like, this girl just tried my life. Tried my life. I could have died that night. Got kidnapped and killed that night. And so she was like, oh, I didn't leave. Like, basically trying to cover herself. I think I still have the screenshots and the receipts or whatever. So the next day go by, and I'm texting this girl. Because y'all, remember when I told y'all that I left my bag back in her stuff, back at her house, my book bag back at her house. I left my book bag and stuff back at her house. I think I left my bag in the car, but I ended up forgetting about it. So I'm texting her trying to get my stuff because I'm now in class the next morning and my computer is in my bag. All my supplies is in my bag and I have no way to do my schoolwork in this class. So I'm texting her. She's responding back to me and she's like, oh, I'm not at school yet. Woo, woo. I'm going to give your bag to somebody else. All my personal belongings is in this bag, dog. Electronics, all that is in this bag. The person who she ends up giving my stuff to, I do not know who this is and now I am livid to the max. So I'm so mad. I'm on Snapchat going off on this girl, posting on Snapchat, like, going crazy because I am mad. Not only did you try to abandon me at this park, but you gave my stuff to a random person that I don't know. Neither do you know. Could have stole all my stuff, did steal my stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. It's cool, it's okay. So I'm going back and forth with her. One of the girls, who I also claimed as my friend, screenshots it and sent it to her. I be picking the wrong ones, no cap. So I'm texting the girl who screenshotted it and I'm trying to fight her. She like, oh, I ain't do it. It ain't no drama, it ain't no beef. I'm like, okay, girl, whatever. But for Alana, no, wasn't over there. Never was over. So she's seeing what I seen and I'm like, please pull up to my house. Pull up. You know where I live. You got my address to your phone. You feel me? Like, I'm like, just pull up. So I was like, it's straight. We got a class together. We got healthcare together. So I'm gonna see you then. She was like, okay. Going crazy at the mouth, talking crazy at the mouth. I got the receipts still. I think I'm gonna put them in. If I don't, my bad, y'all. So we end up getting in gym. And so I'm waiting for her. She comes late to class. It's like 20 minutes late. I'm waiting on her. Like, I'm pacing back and forth. Health class end up going in the gym. I'm pacing back and forth. I'm mad. So I end up calming down. I'm sitting down. So I don't even remember how we ended up arguing. But we arguing. No. She ends up walking past me. And I looked at her. And she was like, you got something to say? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she was like, you doing all this talking, but you got my scarf on your head. She was like,
You doing all this roll around, but you got my scarf on your head.
But no, you talking all this shit about me, but you got on my head. Okay, if you want to come take it off my damn head.
Cause she gave me, remember when I told you I was doing my edits in her bathroom? She gave me a scarf to tie on her head. So I used it the next day to fight you. So she was going off at the mouth. I said, what you trying to do? What you trying to do? I said, let me know what you trying to do so I can tighten my shoes up, bruh. She was like, you doing all this talking? I said, so what's up? So what's up? So what's up? So what's up?
If you finna walk out, let me know so I can tighten my shoes up. Chill. If you finna walk out, let me know. Yes, you walk out.
So we ended up going in the hallway. And I was like, okay, I'm right here. I'm right here. You doing all this talking? I'm right here in your face. Type stuff. I got the video. I was saying all this in the video.
No, I'm not gonna let her and my sister know.
Are you? Because you said you okay, I'm right here.
Mind you, the girl is big over me, like she big. She's really big over me. But I'm still popping my stuff because I'm not scared and nobody scares me. So I'm popping my stuff. And I'm like, what's up? Like, I'm right here. Do something. She like, so smack me. You said you was gonna smack me, so smack me.
You said you was gonna smack me, so smack me.
So I was like, so what's up? Because I'm a freshman and at that time, my mama told me don't fight unless somebody touch you. So I was waiting for her to touch me, and she did not do that. So I called my cousin. I'm like, bro, she in here, she trying me. I'm ready to fight, come in the gym. My cousin comes to the gym, confronts Shawty. Shawty leaves the gym, tells the principal makes us talk it out. I kid y'all not, the video is going to be on the screen. So I had to record us talk to the principal. We're talking it out. I don't rock like that. Like, please don't be trying to be who freaking hero. At the end of the day, we was trying to fight me, bro. Like, I don't like stuff like that. I never did and I never will. Like, how you gonna be bold and then snitch? how you gonna tell me? Like, how you gonna, you feel me? So, boom, time progressed. I ended up squashing it with her. And let me tell y'all, what's crazy is a year ago when I was at the same park with my friend Saria, I had just told Saria the story right before we got there because it reminded me of all that stuff. So I told her the same story. Told her the story, and I saw the girl at Six Flags. And I'm just looking at her, and she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and I'm like, what's up? I didn't say what's up, but I'm looking at her like, what's up? Type stuff like. And she goes, so I'm like, okay, girl. You don't want no problems. Clearly you don't want no issues. You don't want no problems. You don't want no raw. So we end up time progressed, and I ended up, remember when I told y'all I posted this story a while ago for my OG subscribers, but it was all over the place. I ended up posting it, and she ended up trying to fight me. So I'm like, okay, and the person who's driving can get it too. And I said, and if you do, because I guess she was threatening me and she was trying to shoot whatever, and I was like, if you shoot, just make sure you don't miss. Or if you trying to fight for real, your folks can get it too. Like, I was on that type of stuff. But I'm not even like that no more. Like, that's like not even me. But yeah, y'all, that's the story about how she tried to freaking abandon me. I kind of had to do this fast because I'm really tired and I'm ready to post. But moral of the story is, y'all, if you're going to go out with somebody, make sure the person is reliable if they your transportation. Make sure they're not on nothing, and make sure they're not finna try to tarnish you because they asked. And if they do, don't be with them. If you see a group of people trying to rob somebody, don't be a part of that. Like, it ain't worth it. What else? Moral of the story, just make sure the person that you can trust and they're reliable. This is many of the stories that I am going to be telling y'all. I have learned to not rely on people, to not rely on nobody, because nobody can come through like how you will come through. Nobody got you like you got yourself, and that's just that on that. So without further ado, make sure y'all subscribe to me. I got y'all. Bye.